Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for week 26, day 4. It is June 29, 2017 as we roll out the month of June. Hey guys, as always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. To support your knowledge in the market, see what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right, Jedi traders, good to see you. Here we are again, rolling out the end of the month. Let's jump right in. Again, another down date. I got to make sure. Day 3, was it up? Yep, absolutely. It was, what a week we've had, if you think about it. We had... somehow thinking yesterday was a down day, but it was actually the opposite. You remember yesterday's session. We took it all back today. Go figure, for the end of the month of June. Trading session recap here as no Globex pictures. It was pretty much momentum choppy on the ES and the YM. NQ already pre-market as the GDP came out today with jobless claims, and market was already down on the NQ, starting the move even before the U.S. regular trading hours open, and only to follow suit finally the YM and the ES. That's right, momentum downside to finish off the day as big volume across the board. There it is, 2.32 million shares on the ES, 594, way above the 60 period moving average. So nice move as the VIX closes out here at 1144, and the FANG stocks and the Microsoft and the Starbucks in the red. All right, there's the news today. Not really much happening, as larger time frames was the key to today's market action. Let's jump right into the charts as we see them each day. Price action here right on the daily gaps. We can see the volume all the way downside, as the nearest open gaps on the YM all the way down here to 248 and 1575. That wasn't exactly in our scopes today, but sure enough, NQ, you never know if move down to 55.1275 is right headed there. We have one right up above 57.68, so keep that in mind. If we in any way rally up tomorrow, we'll be going ahead and looking for that 57.68. Anything lower, watch 55.1275 at this point. Taking a look at the AD lines of notoriety here. We got a little jump here on the price action in the last 30 minutes here prior to the Globex. We could see the outliers on the YM at the bottom here, ES reaching downs. Let's point out the NQ today, because it was really on the NQ after reaching up. There we go, a little bit of... after hours here, but look at this. From yesterday, AD line reaches up to that negative 90, I'm positive 90, and finds its way up to the highs 101, and bang, right down to the outlier today. I believe this might actually be 103. That used to be a line I was watching pretty close, 105. That's all right. Hey, we're in the zone down here. That's the outliers. Usually negative 70, 75 tends to be it, but sure enough, we went right to the opposite end today on the AD line. That's what brought our levels downside. Some key interesting charts here to look at today, especially on the NQ and the ES. All right, let's jump into the full session here. Again, I mentioned higher time frames as the NQ loses traction here at the 10 and the 50 EMA. We mentioned NQ was already in a downtrend pre-market after GDP came out and jobless claims, and there it was now on a 25 tick range chart, usually looking at the 10-7 flex Renko. That's right, 10-7 flex Renko, and the whole goal here, again, as we see, I want to go ahead and show you the key that we look at. High probability setup, price action Heikin-Ashi bars underneath the cloud, downside arrows in sync with the 534. That's row number 2. And row number 3 is the 5144. Same color as the cloud. Here I have it in blue. It's in red. But here you can see on the chart, cloud is in red. 5144 down below is in red. 534 is in red. Beautiful setup. 2 indecision bars. Market open. Bang. You're to the downside. Now, first hanging tail here. Again, on a smaller time frame, you're going to get bars going up. But on the bigger time frame, the key here on this move is to allow yourself the opportunity to stay in as price action continues downside. So it's all a matter of where you place that stop. If you got that stop too close, you're going to be taken out. All right, so you're taken out. Price action gives you another opportunity to get in. By this point, came pretty close here on these 4 indecision bars, and whether you were taken out or not, still gave you an opportunity to ride this all the way down. And on the PM session, which I was out for today, but PM session, another nice move, moving average crossover, solid Heikin Ashi bar downside, in sync. There it is, golden setup in the afternoon session. Again, higher time frames was the key today. All right, taking a look at the YM, price action went to the higher time frame today, 15 tick chart. Here we go. Price action moving average crossover to supplement the idea that, well, we're not in the move yet, so I would have let that YM first move go. This was the move to look for here at about post 2.5. What is that? Post 2 hour, little post an hour of the market. Yeah, actually that was there, 10:26. So there you go. Price action moves down on moving average crossover underneath the 51.44 in sync with the 5.34. Gives you a little bit of a runaway, a little bit of a long tail there. I don't know. If it takes you out, you got an opportunity to get back in. Sure enough, by this point, you're able to manage on the swing size. And what does that mean? Well, let's take a look at what that means. Swing high stops. Swing high stops is where you move your stops down as pricing bounces up a little bit and moves back down. But again, you got to answer that question every day. What puts you in and what takes you out? All right, price action again got a little bit of bounce here. About a 38% retracement as the moving averages crossed over. Price action above the cloud, but not much at the end of the day. ES full session, there it was, went to a 10.7 flex Renko, leaving that 5.4 out. Moving average crossover. Again, you could have jumped right in at the market open or pre-market. Again, I prefer the pullback here and then the move down here on the ES. Very smooth, able to opportunity to bring the stop here, and all the way down. Price action, indecision, solid body. And once you're getting down to these lows, you start looking at, what do I have down here? Do I have a Fibonacci level? Is it an MML level? We'll take a look at some of those and see if any of those were in play and why price action might have come out. All right, so let's keep in mind, let's take the big picture here. Here's the NQ. Here's our full session. We're looking down here at 5,600. So what are some things playing in my mind? Well, number one, I'm back under the 10 and the 50 for the week. And then we said in the technical momentum outlook for the week, we said if we're going to lose support down here, then we're going to start looking for open gaps, start looking for 200 MA, also look for lower MML levels. So here we are. NQ post 17 minutes. Yesterday's action, holding underneath the 10 and the 50. First lines. What do I notice? Whoa, there we go. NQ simply wiped out the complete move from yesterday's price action to the longs. Too bad for the longs there. And where were we? Higher time frame, 50 tick range chart. Love it. Price action up, 61.8 retracement. Do we hold here? Sure, we bounced. Market action, though, starting to look really good to the downside on the NQ as we approach the pre-European close. We're still trending down, and we're watching the AD line as the AD line is approaching those outliers. Again, this was a 15 tick chart. I just showed you a 25 tick chart so you can see a lot of the noise here, and you're trying to get back in, and what do you notice? You keep getting taken out. So go to that higher time frame. That was the key today. Even though these are all valid setups, the key here was about staying in the trend. All right, so that's it. NQ, high time frame. Now, if you don't, you're getting into this market, and you know that it hasn't been the same as it was for years, where price action, we had nice long bars, daily bars at least. Now, we've had half that and very little movement, and all of a sudden the market now is starting to move a little bit. Lots of trends. So what do? Go to the higher time frames. For these swing traders, you can stay in this for a couple days. It's the same exact setup. You just have to be on a higher time frame. So there it is. Price action comes down, pulls back. Again, you could take the initial move over the crossover of the cloud. That's fine. For me, I like to have as many things in sync. And so there it is. There's option one there. That was back on, let's see, that's Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. So this is a late day Monday setup. Price action sets you up here as price action pulls back, moves down, moves down, moves down. Next opportunity to get back in the long here on Thursdays. Move up and turn around Globex, and we're back downside with a solid Heikin Ashi bars downside. Beautiful move on the higher time frames. All right, so what were we looking at on the NQ? Well, first of all, price action's coming down. You start looking at MML levels. You start looking at For any other day, it could be the daily gap, or you're looking at the AD line like we just showed you. Well, it was all by the MMLs, Murray math levels. That's right. From one level, upside yesterday, and I was specifically looking at the 10-minute versus the smaller time frames as they continuously change. But 10-minute, from the lows to the highs, 57.42 was the line we were talking about yesterday. And there it is, consolidation in the Globex, and then bang, right back downside. And where did we go? All the way back down to 56.44 plus up. All right, so NQ, we know how it ended. Let's take a look at the ES. ES again in the AM session. It was all about the trend. This was on the smaller time frame. This was on the 5-4 Flex Renko. And we're seeing, where are we going with the ES? Where are we going? So if you don't have any levels, MML levels can be one of those. So I'm looking at 2406.25. And sure enough, in the PM session, there we are. We're consolidating that 2406, and we know that the ES, came down to that zone. All right, so again, nice adjunct to your trend strategy. All right, let's get into the charts. Price action here. All right, so we looking at the big picture. We know where the weekly is, still consolidating. Daily, still holding above that 50, but dropping down a little bit. So ES, price action. Nice movement to the downside on the 10-minute chart. Pulls back up here. This should be a... This should be a Flex Renko, guys. Flex Renko. So let's get that to a Flex Renko bar. All right, so here on Sierra Charts, we're able to do that. Let's get that to a, let's go to a 15, let's go to a 15, so actually we'll just do 1510 today.
Crude short.
Sometimes when you change things on some of the charts, it changes the time frame here. Let's see, lower time frame, we're at a 10.7, that's good. All right, so 15 tick. I'll have to play around with this. Obviously, my settings are off a little bit. I think you got the idea that the momentum is downside. So we'll go ahead and fix that for tomorrow. Otherwise, let's see what we had. ES pre-market. So we were on the 2014.0. So let's go ahead and we could probably change that right now. That won't take long here. 2014.0. And so MML levels, where did we go? That's right. We went down to that 60-minute. Levels and bounced right back up above the 50. So there we are. That's the Renko bricks, and we're gonna go. We just want to look at the Heikin Ashi Flex Renko. There we are. All right. So price action is downside on a 2014.0 Flex Renko. Bigger picture. Looking the upside again. We'll want to watch for the 10 EMA going into tomorrow as we roll out the month of June here. Bouncing off the 60-minute as zone low sits down here. So be ready for more action if we were to come down all the way down here to 23.94.50. Again, big open gaps I'm not worried about yet. 23.15 is all the way down. So we got to drive to get down there. But, hey, markets can do whatever they want each day, right? NQ, watching the price action on the NQ. 56.32 was one of those levels we were looking at today. But big picture, momentum is, that's correct, downside. T34, T350 is downside. We're holding under the Heikin Ashi cloud here as price action did get a pullback. All good, but momentum sitting at the MML lows. Heading into tomorrow, watch for the resistance back up first to the 60-minute, which is 57.03. Some numbers we've been seeing each day were resistance and support. Watch for the 50 and 10. Anything lower, start to look to the zone low and start to look to that open gap right down there at 55.12.75. All right, YM. Zone high up here, so price action able to break back up to the 10. Look right back upside to 21.445. Momentum is downside on the pullback here, so about 30. What do we got? 38% retracement here. All right, you'll want to watch 50%. If we break the trend line here at 61.8, look for that T350, which is up here around 380, which should put us right up to the overbought if the volume is going to be there as we roll into a holiday. Extended holiday week. Anything lower, watch that 50-period SMA as the Globex session. Who knows where they're going with this move downside. Bigger major support resistance still down here at 938. Nothing much on the other charts except the 6J. I want to give a shout out to that. Here we are, yesterday's move. Price action on the 6J. 6J on the Globex, sorry. There it is. Globex was down, and then turnaround, market open. 6J, very nice trending move. Solid Heikin bar. Again, initial move. You might have missed out on it, but not only do you have a fib retrace there, but you also have a fib projection. Take the lowest low, point A, draw it up to point B, point C, and there you go. Bang, right up to 161.8%. Voila. See how those fibs works also. So nice move on the 6J for the session. There's our screen share. Not much to say on the crude today. GC and 6E. Watch those daily VWAPs as they happen each day. All right, headed into tomorrow. Economic calendar. Again, I had this wrong, so apologies. Non-farm payrolls is not till next week. Personal income and outlays. Red Star event. Watch for that sentiment number and the rig count. Jedi traders, that is it. That's the recap for the daily trend for the key futures markets and technical momentum of the indices and other key charts that I watch each day. Feel free to stop by here at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. Lots of good stuff here on the website here, including my blog page. Simply by clicking on the blog, you can check out the e-manual, membership, trading rules, all good stuff here. Trying to keep it simple for all of you traders. My trading mantra, one simple strategy, any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. Again, you can find me every day on Twitter at TradingFibs or else at StockTwits, plenty of other sites, See It Market, Mr. Top Step, weekly articles posted there. And guys, if you got any smarts in this market, you will leave your bias at the door when trading. Only watch the charts in front of you and leave the crystal ball to the experts, such as Ken Polcari. Good morning macro news to just read up on a recap again. Shouldn't sway your position on how you're going to trade the trading day. Should just give you an insight into where things are on the bigger picture. Always keep that in mind. Hey guys, if you're interested on any Thursday or Friday to be with us with our community of like-minded traders, feel free to join us. Just shoot an email me, david@tradingfibs.com, and we'll get you in. By the way, for anybody who's interested in those MML levels, I got a tutorial that I did on the Murray Meth and Heikin bars combo. Appreciate all the views here. Seems like we're getting up there. So again, if you're more interested in setting that up on your platforms, information can be found on this video. All right, it is national. Actually, a couple of great days that we're celebrating today, but today is National Handshake Day. So go out and handshake somebody. I don't know if people do that anymore, but go ahead and give somebody a good handshake. Anyway, until then, have yourselves a Blue Zone day wherever you may be. Holiday weekend coming up. So we'll wrap things up tomorrow. And until then, have yourselves a good day. Have a good night and good trading to you. David from TradingFibs.com.